care we have and make a fortune out of it.
So how does the process work? Because I mean, I've always said, and let's say, and I use this and this is probably a stupid example, but it'll paint the picture. Say, for instance, there's a disabled person who requires a wheelchair. Now, it should be as simple as, getting 3 quotes, sending them off to the NDIA and then getting the money to buy the wheelchair. But the process seems to be a lot more complicated than that.
I wish it was as simple as what you would like. So a person who needs a wheelchair and is funded by the NDIS has to be seen by physiotherapists, occupational therapists. They need to do a report. They need to, first of all, assess them, then do a report. That then goes into the NDIA to be assessed. If that's given the green light, then they can go and purchase their wheelchair. And no second-hand equipment gets recycled in the NDIS. So everyone who has a purpose-built wheelchair gets it, and then they get a brand new one when at the time of that expires and they can get a new one. So my garage is filled of old NDIS equipment where participants have passed away and they've had an electric wheelchair or a walking frame or whatever. But there's no one to give it to because the NDIS participants aren't allowed to have a second-hand thing. They have to have a brand new thing. And providers know it's NDIS, and as you said, like the wedding industry, they put up the price.
So I remember a time, and this is way before the NDIS existed, one of my neighbours, his business was refurbishing old medical equipment. So what, have we just given away all of that idea altogether?
Well, I believe so, because I could not sell a second-hand piece of equipment. Despite trying, you can't do it. No one will even keep it. It used to be a guy who used to keep it all for people who became palliative and may have needed a bit of equipment, but he doesn't even do it anymore. So there's all this stuff, like beds too, perfectly good electric beds that have, could be used by anyone, and there's plenty of older people in the community who can't afford them, but they get thrown out.
And particularly when we talk about the health budget the way it is at the moment, I mean, this stuff could be recycled through hospital. I mean, this to me is equating to somebody stays in hospital for a week and when they go home, you get rid of the bed and get a new one.
Well, it's a bit longer than a week that they have them, but the same
but I know, but you know what I'm saying. It makes no sense whatsoever. And even if they are, they need a bit of